Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Well, today we've got some new exclusive images that have been released through the Amazon Prime Video account over on Twitter. Now, they say these are 3 new images, but in fact, one of them isn't actually new. It's just a more improved, detailed look at an image from a previous released one. But being said, the other 2 are brand spanking new, and we are going to be deep diving into all of them. So let's start off with the one where I've said we've seen this before. So as you can see, it's the photo of Moiraine. Now, for anybody that didn't see my previous video, there will be a card in the top left corner of the video. But essentially what this is the photo that we got from, I believe it was Empire magazine, not Entertainment Weekly, where we saw a new shot of Moiraine in Emonds Field, obviously before winter night. We didn't get a really fantastic clear image from the digital or the actual magazine itself. So this is a much more detailed look at Moiraine. As you can see, they've basically focused entirely on Moiraine this time. We've got a much bigger and greater look at her. Obviously her face, the clothing she's wearing, as we've seen, on many a photo now, which is quite nice. But so what can we say about this photo of Moiraine? Well, as you can see, it's one of those mysterious little smiles that we've known Moiraine to have on her face from time to time. Like, it's that knowingness from behind her eyes, knowing she knows something else that nobody else in the room particularly does. And, there's a bit of an ageist look, I would say, going about this photo. And she almost looks to be either looking down at someone or just deep in thought, and she's just taken herself away from it. But yeah, that's that image. I thought, let's get that out of the way since we've seen it before and there's not too much new to be gained from it. So let's move on to the second of the 3 photos, and that is a look at Lan. And more importantly, we get a much clearer view of his sword. And there's a reason behind me saying that. Now, if we are to zoom in on the photo, we can clearly see that there is some old tongue which has been engraved onto the sword itself. Now, I wasn't the only one that saw this, and so a lot of people over on Twitter, they decided to go and try to unravel the mystery of what was written on it. Now, to take note, you would have to think, for starters, this letters may be upside down for one because of the way Lan is holding the sword on his shoulders. So I decided to flip it. Now, that didn't really help me a lot. I didn't come up with anything that would resemble any sort of phrase or wording. But thankfully, as I've said, a lot of people over on Twitter actually did. And so we've come to the conclusion so far that it's something along the lines of this is what is written. So it looks like it's "My warm welcome, Egwene Taishan." Now, this is a departure from the books, if this was to be the case, because as we know in the books, Lan is handed down the ancestral sword of the Malkari kings. So if that is the case, that they don't have that incorporated into the show, that is quite a change from the books. Now, throughout the course of me speaking, excuse me, I haven't been well, so you may hear me cough from time to time. But I believe, Malkia's king over on Twitter, they were the one to unravel this mystery. Now, they've also remembered something else, and it's a phrase that was said by Moiraine to Egwene when they arrived in Faldara. And it's quite interesting for one. So basically, Moiraine greets him by saying, "Your welcome warms me, Egwene Daishan." And he says, "Your welcome warms me, Egwene Daishan." Now, there's quite a striking similarity between what we believe has been written on the sword, and that actual phrase Moiraine is said to Egwene in the books when they arrive at Faldara. And so there is those two connecting lines of thought, which makes it seem a little bit more plausible as to that is correct with what we're thinking is written on the sword. But yeah, other than that, we can actually see on the hilt there's a nice little bit of intricate detailing on it as well. A nice sort of pattern. I don't know if it resembles anything in particular, but yeah. Again, another nice look at Lan's braces on his wrists. As I've mentioned before, have to have important points on the body where they're very susceptible to inflicting very dangerous injuries to yourself. As we've seen with the Green Adja, with Alana Masfani, she's got those, Lan's got them naturally, being a warder. And it's just basically another nice detailed look at Lan himself and his outfit. I would say, as far as where this is being taken, it's quite hard to see because it's been quite a lot blurred. So we'll have to just wait and see where that is. Right, then moving along, we come to what I consider to be the most important photo of the whole bunch. And that is another look at Rand and Egwene. Now, I would say this has happened after they've left Emonds Field and after Winter Night. As we can see, Bella and what's his name? Mist? I don't know. Don't quote me on that. I'm still not 100% here. But what is interesting in this photo is the fact that, and I've said this on many a previous video, is their relationship is going to be quite a dramatic change from what we've seen in the books. We've seen inklings of this with the trailer and other photos, and I think we're getting, with each new photo of them together or just moments of them interacting, whether it be in trailers or photos, we're seeing a pattern that's starting to emerge where their relationship seems a lot more than what it was in the books. I would say they're essentially a full-blown couple at this point. I would say, looking at this photo, I would say they're in love. Now, yes, you can say this is a photo and you can take it out of context, but I don't care what anybody says. I firmly believe they are in love. And so that's going to be interesting to see how this plays out in the show, as it's quite a big departure from the books. As we know, they were always promised to one another, but nothing ever became of it. And so it's going to be very intriguing to see just how far removed from the books the writers and team have taken this, and to see how far into the series it's going to go and last. Maybe they plan on having Egwene be with Rand a hell of a lot more than what we even thought of or are expecting. Maybe they're going to take it even further to the point where, now spoilers, I'm going to go quite a lot further into the series, so bear that in mind here. I'll give you a couple more seconds before I do. Maybe they're going to keep these two as a couple all the way up until she becomes an accepted or becomes a member of the Green Adja, where she becomes the rebel Amarilyn seat. That would be quite interesting if they went that far away and far removed from the books. So that would be quite interesting to see whether that is something they're going to take to that sort of extremes with these two characters and their plot moving forward. But yeah, it's just another look at them both. And I say, every new photo that I see, particularly of these two, it's lovely. I don't really know what else to say about them. it's just going to be really intriguing to see what comes of this. There's some nice details. We can see the ring that we were trying to break down when I was on the Dusty Reel last. We've got a better look at that now. The outfits are pretty much the ones we've seen all the way through all the promotional images that we've had thus far. Of course, this is our best look at the horses as well, which is quite nice to see. But yeah, there we go, guys. Let me know your thoughts on all these photos. I'd love to know what you all think about it. And yeah, leave that down below in the comments. I will be back on Friday with a new video, of course, covering the Comic-Con virtual panel that isn't live, unfortunately. But yeah, keep an eye out on the channel if you're new. And if you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button down below. And of course, hit the thumbs up if you've enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys all on Friday.